I go through, a lot more detail on some of the principles that I've shared with you this afternoon. So there I talk about writing early or too late, the golden thread, principles of drafting a research report, and abstract patterns are very important. So that abstract that you have to write up at the top, that's also very important. And then you can see there the importance and technique of ensuring that actions or verbs are not nominalized. So you can go through that again. It's the same as what I've been teaching you this afternoon, but you'll have that video then as part of that course for reference going forward. A couple of practices and opportunities there to engage. Now, then this is a fantastic, fantastic course, especially for people at the beginning of the academic year. And I don't know if Happiness was able to join us, but she got in touch with me this morning and I said, well, join the webinar because this course really sets out the big areas that you need to focus on. And no surprise, writing is one of them because writing, as I said, is critical. And you can see that as step 1 at the bottom there. So step 1, as I've mentioned, develop a habit of reading, thinking, and writing. And there are sections and lessons for each of these in this course. Then point number 2 is to set up your weekly supervisor status report. Now, that's just a technique that I teach in this course and a couple of other courses that helps you drive a level of quality, and particularly at a postgraduate level. And that's why I said Happiness, starting her postgraduate studies this year, would find this incredibly useful. And it's based on this Kanban principle of regular cadence, regularly updating your tasks, and just getting into a weekly rhythm. And I provide you with my own status report. I provide you with exactly how I did it. And my weekly supervisor status report, together with the other principles that I teach in this course, is what got me through my PhD. So, I mean, I've been there, I've gone through it, I've experienced the blood, the sweat, and the tears. And these principles are equally applicable at the master's and the undergraduate level as well. And then step number 3 there, you must learn how to plan and master your tasks from to do to done. So like we said earlier, you can come into the Facebook group and you can have that shared accountability. That'll focus your mind on those 2 or 3 tasks that you need to complete. But how do you actually manage and visualize the completion of those tasks? And I teach you, very basic Kanban principles. And again, in our Facebook group, and if you were on the webinar last week, you'll have seen pictures of people that share their Kanban boards and how they've used Kanban boards to get through their tasks, to complete their study modules. It really brings it to life. And I teach you those principles and I share those examples for you in the course as well. And then the beginning of the year, but throughout the year, people start postgraduate studies at different times. There will always be the need for a good proposal, especially if you're going to a research module. And that could be, for an MBA, it could be for a postgraduate diploma, it could be for a master's, it could be for a full PhD. The principles of writing a good proposal, like we said earlier when we were talking about literature review, demonstrates and gives you an opportunity to practice and improve the way in which you critically engage with existing resources in that field that you want to study. And it sets out a plan and a process and a methodology that you're going to follow for doing your actual study. And then point number 5 there, writing practices. So once you get into, the various writing projects that you'll be required to do, a lot of what we've talked about this afternoon. And then the final step really is, getting your final report, thesis, or dissertation done at the top there. And of course, that's not everything, but, I think that's 80%. If you get those 6 habits right and you do those well and you repeat them as you go through your studies, you are going to be more successful than not. And this is just exposing the first step. And if you are at your earliest stage of your degree, like Happiness was, who spoke to me this morning, that habit of reading, writing, and thinking. So I think, Tapela, you asked earlier as well how to improve your writing. There's some tips here for you, to write early, often, and well, for example. To think about how your writing brings your thinking and your reading together. So you always need to be reading, writing, and thinking at the same time. But I will say, very importantly, the only measure of your reading and your thinking is your writing. You cannot get to the end of your degree and say, well, I did a lot of reading and thinking and I've solved all these problems in my head. It's got to be on paper. It's got to be in clear, well-written reports about your research. Okay, so this is the course, Student Success Masterclass, 6 Steps to Complete Your Degree. Yeah, I've had such wonderful feedback. As I've gone through my own PhD, I packaged what I wish I had when I was doing my PhD. I literally packaged that and said, if I was doing my PhD again, what would I wish I had access to in terms of these kinds of resources, this kind of teaching, to help me be more successful and confident in my writing. And in my overall study. So Chanel says there, this course was phenomenal. Content was high quality and practical. A lot of value in the time I spent working through it. And again, it's this confidence. I feel more confident and excited about my academic journey. Thank you for this wonderful experience. I recommend this course to every student. So thanks, Chanel. Go through it. And again, you always have access to any of my courses once you've enrolled in them. So it's not like you have to do them all in one sitting or within a certain period of time. You will have access to those resources, those videos, those worksheets, etc., for you then to go back in if you need, a refresher as you're going through your studies. Okay, so I put the links there in the chat, and just in case you did miss out on them, that is the Student Success Masterclass, and then here is the writing course for you to enroll and get access to. And once you are in that course, you'll always have access to them. And please leave a rating and a review on my courses. Thank you very much. So just as a reminder, you will be prompted to leave a rating and a review as you go through any of my courses. Please do so whether you're watching any of my videos on the YouTube channel or interacting with any of my blogs, my content. I desperately need that feedback to see where I could improve and to see if it's useful for people. And that social proof helps other students like you to look at these courses, to look at these resources and everything that we create for the community, and then assess whether it's going to be helpful for them. Because it's no good me telling people stuff is useful. If I can show you what other people have said about these resources, that's an independent assessment of the value that you then potentially could also get from them. So, Riabetsu, absolute pleasure. Very good to have you guys join us every Friday. We are always here. And I think, most importantly for me is just to get onto the Facebook group. And that's where, I'll put all the resources again. And obviously, I have to approve everybody that comes in because I do moderate the group. So we just keep it nice and respectful and kind and helpful. But generally, we've had a very, very positive experience of that group since we set it up. And people like Tracy and others, Natasha, etc., are also very supportive and engaging in the group. And Tracy, we're looking forward to some of your tips in the Facebook group. So Tracy's got lots of advice to give you, especially from a graduate recruitment perspective, because remember, it's not, you get your degree, that's fantastic, but you need to go on and get a job and contribute to society. And that's where Tracy plays a fantastic role to come in and support us in the group from that perspective as well. Okay, I think we've gotten through everything that I wanted to. Just a reminder, it is hard work. Big projects like a master's or a PhD are not quick things, and they're not easy. You've taken on a big initiative. You've got expectations from people around you. You've got expectations of yourself. There's going to be pressure. There's going to be late nights. There's going to be hard work. But the only way to move forward and to make progress and to have success is to take action. And action really does change things. I always say a PhD is it's a series of tasks. It's a series of doing the right things in the right way over a sustained period of time. And just like I teach in the course, any one of those little tasks are important on their own, because those tasks themselves are not the PhD, but adding all of those tasks together are the PhD. And the techniques that I teach you in the Student Success Masterclass is then to combine, that daily discipline and that management of those tasks into the overall success that you're looking for with your degree, etc. Then just to mention mentorship that is in the group, and we're constantly looking for people to sign up as mentors in the group. So I think we've got 8 possibly in the group already, and there are people that actively need mentors. And again, this is not your supervisor. No one's assessing you. This is just a weekly check-in, or less frequently, for however long or little it is that you want to, connect with each other. It's just an encouragement. It's just a support. It's just a weekly WhatsApp even. It's just a 10-minute phone call. I'm also available. The best way to reach me is in the Facebook group, and I'm happy to chat for 10, 15 minutes and point you in the right direction. But the most valuable thing that you can get as you go through your studies is mentorship and encouragement. It doesn't always have to be somebody in your faculty or in your immediate field. You can help people across faculties if you're at the same university or not. Also doesn't matter. Technology, means you can connect very easily. Just find someone that works for you, and you'll leverage them extensively. And they've made their time available through the Student Success Facebook group, and I would really urge that you take advantage of that. So really nothing less left for you to do other than take action, and just keep taking action. So enroll in the courses, subscribe to the YouTube channel, get into the Facebook group, find a mentor, and then apply that discipline of taking action in the rest of your degree. Coquettes or no? So great question. There's no requirements needed to become a mentor. In the Facebook group, you'll see a little mentorship tab, and you can click that button, and then it'll either say, are you looking for a mentor, or would you like to become a mentor? And it's literally 2 clicks, and then you are added to our list of mentors. And we desperately, as a country, as a nation, we need people that are willing to help people also rise and lift them up, so that they can have the same access to resources and information that those of us that are perhaps further on in our journey also had. And as much as we relied on mentors for us to have the success that we've got, so too people at the earlier stages of their journey also need mentors to be successful. So Koketso, if I see you later in the Facebook group, I'll just nudge you and remind you, if you are willing to be a mentor, we'd love to have you as a mentor and make a contribution into the group. All right, so thank you very much for everybody joining us today. I think the last thing is just to remind you that where you are right now is the Student Success Coach YouTube channel, and the recording of this webinar will always be available at the same link through which you arrived here now. So if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you'll get that. I'll add it into the Facebook group as well. But I'd love you to subscribe as well, because then you'll get the benefit of all the videos that I post there throughout the week as well. Yeah, Nazipa, absolute pleasure. It's my contribution to your success, and I hope you find value in the courses and the material that we provide. As always, please do leave ratings, reviews, likes, comments, feedback. I desperately do need that to make sure that I'm doing the right thing and helping you guys as much as possible. So with that said, we will see you in the courses and in the Facebook group, and hopefully next week as well. So take action, everybody. See you and have a